Hi friends, this is a video on spiritual growth and not on religion. So anybody whose feelings could be the least bit offended should switch off this video right now. Because I promise you, if you watch till the end, I will give you with a thought that will haunt you for days to come and probably open your mind to a potential which you never thought of. Okay, so let me start off by asking, what is our greatest fear? You ask a young student, probably he'll say failing in exams. You ask a youngster, he'll say career, etc., etc., perhaps marriage. But somebody who's lived, say, half their lives, or people who are in an older age will tell you probably death. But is that the greatest fear? No. The greatest fear of man is not knowing. What do I mean by that? If truly the majority of the world, a large majority as it pretends, already knows the answers of rebirth, of God, of all of these things, what is going to happen by reading a few books, they would not be this scared of death. They would know, okay, fine, time over for this movie. I'll go upstairs, I will meet Mr. God, and then start a new movie. All these lame excuses. No, I'm not worried about death per se, but I'm worried about my family, my loved ones. What will they do without me? These are so shallow that they don't deserve much comments from my side. You can yourself close your eyes and know the answer. The problem is that when we die, we want to be certain of what lies on the other side. So, when we do not know for real, we have built a cocoon of beliefs told by our parents, our ancestors, or teachers, and have firmly told our mind to better believe it. But since believing is not knowing, right? The doubts keep coming up like volcanoes from the earth, erupting all of a sudden, swinging us into depressions. Let me ask you a simple question. People say, no, we are evolving, we are changing our views. There was a point, some people will say we used to believe multiple gods, then we believed in, some people believe in one God, then other, people are now saying, no, it's all Atma, Paramatma, one and the same thing. It's a journey. It's just a universe. It's a vague open term called the universe. It's just an energy. And it's destiny, what is happening to you. Your mind, your thoughts, everything controlled from here. Your spiritual energy, the energy flowing which you can control through whatever means. Let me bust that bubble. Sorry, let me bust that balloon specifically. Why? Because a balloon flies in the air, right? So let me bust that and bring us to the ground. You see, here's my theory. When we were as human beings divided into multiple tribes, multiple communities, etc., small city states, we had multiple thousands of gods. Every small city, every small place had its own god, etc., etc. Okay, as they combined together in interaction, it became a kind of a pantheon, etc. In some cases, when they were large unified empires, it became like this one almighty, extremely tough god. If you read about the Roman emperor who decided to enforce Christianity on all his subjects, you would read one of his major viewpoints was that one tough, strict god above and one powerful, all uniting emperor below, as the Roman Empire now stretched from Britain and France and the Germanic people all the way to Turkey, etc., etc. And today, when we talk about the universe, and or it's an impersonal, whatever you want to call it, energy field. Think about what has happened today in the world. Our social system has seen not just the collapse of democracy, the collapse of absolute monarchy in very very recent times. Please remember, democracy started 150 200 years back, but practically it is only after the Second World War, with all of these new nation states coming up, and slowly with the fall of communism, that democracy and liberalism has become a part of our psyche. And with that, in the common man's mind, it has become acceptable to believe that every man is important and is right over his own life, and that is what is reflecting in our spiritual beliefs. So the transition into this so-called new age philosophy of the universe is there. We don't no longer call him God or call him God by a separate name. We call it universe, and we call it law of attraction, and we call it so many other names, and then we call it destiny. If you go back long, thousands of years back, specifically if you look at Christianity and all, there was very limited role of destiny mentioned. In other religions, their role was there of destiny, but to say that destiny affects every single part of your life, not just your birth or where you were born, that is what now everybody believes in. Every single transaction, how did I do in my interview, how did I do in my career, everything was destiny. That all is incorporated now from our firm belief in our socio-political system of today, that we and only we are responsible for our own success and failures. And yet, when something bad happens, we do not blame God or whatever you want to call it. We say, look, as a humanity, we say whatever is happening to the world and in the current situation, etc., it is humans. Humans have messed up with nature. Humans have done this. It is all humanity's problems. Humanity has been so cruel. When things happen good, we say, by the grace of God. Then why don't we say, it's the humans' fantastic effort. Look where we have come from Stone Age all the way to here. No, we don't say that. Similarly, on a personal level, when we fail, it is our failures. It is my destiny. When we succeed, by the grace of God. We do not have the same standards for the universal power as we have for ourselves. It is not humbleness. It is worry that we may collapse our existing beliefs and then be confronted with the question that we do not know fully. Our glass is not full. So you would say, why are you giving me this depressive thought? If I don't know, or most humans don't know, why are we going around talking about this? Let us live in our balloon, na? It is only and only if you empty your glass, that the knowledge that is there in the ancient scriptures, etc., half glass full or whatever glass full, will start pouring it to you. It is only then and there that humanity will say, okay, this is what we really know. The rest is all beliefs. And knowing how much you know is the first step towards trying to find out what is not known. When people get angry at you in debates on religion, etc., you know why it is? It's not that they are angry at you. Their biggest fear is that you will puncture their balloon. That is why you often find that older people, very old people, are the most rigid. At the twilight of their life, you want to puncture their beliefs or whatever they believe in. They want to go believing that that is exactly what is true, because what man is not ready is to accept that he doesn't know the full answers. You see, animals do not believe that they know anything. They don't believe. They don't even know whether their next meal will come or not. It is man's belief that it is the first step of my civilization, and you see it from the very, very earliest civilization. Nobody said we know half truth. Everybody said we know it. Everybody from the ancient times, they were very clear. That is what they believe is the foundation step of civilization. But perhaps as humanity and as a civilization, the step has come for us to take a leap forward and say, this is all that we know, and we need to figure out the rest, because that is the only way we will be free of the kind of nagging doubts that keep cropping up every now and then. I hope I am able to justify this blog. Leave behind your comments. Thank you. Bye.